Hello everybody, it's Julie here and I'm back with a new process video. I'm going to use the Felicity Jane June Next Stop kit and I'm going to scrapbook these 3 photos from a day we had at the lake. Really it was afternoon. It was I was coming home from the place where I worked and they were like, let's go on the lake. So we went on the lake. So it's me, my mom, my dad, my little brother, and Viola. I think you can hear her snoring in the background. Yep. Um, so my plan is to use some white cardstock and then that sort of meshy blue looking paper and sort of do half and half. And then I'm going to create a cluster in the middle and the I think it was really fun doing this layout because it really played. The big photo is black and white, and the smaller photos are in color, so they sort of have equal importance. The color, of course, adds interest, and my brother here has some red shorts or bathing pants. I don't know, you know, pants to bathe in. I don't know what you call them, and they sort of match with that red striped paper. So you really get to focus, but the other photo is bigger, and I just think that's really fun to play with those kind of things. So I'm going to do some papers behind it to layer, and I think this looks pretty good, so let's start sticking it down. Yeah, so I made this layout a few weeks ago, and I was sitting down like a weekend and doing a bunch of layouts using this kit, and I had so much fun. You get a bunch of stuff, and I'm sorry because I don't think the kit is actually available, but in general the Felicity Jane kits, when I first started looking into it I was like, well, it's not that much stuff or blah blah blah, but it really is. You stretch it a lot, and I feel that the papers and patterns are really useful and really fun, and that they very rarely are specific or gender specific. Um, I have made a few pages with like my brother as the main subject of the layout without it feeling too girly. And then I have made some with him in it that are definitely girly. But in my defense, I am in a few of those photos too, so I thought I feel like that's okay. um, and I don't think he really cares. Um, he walks around with like fluffy socks. Yeah, the red and pink one. Yeah, so I think he's okay with it. Um, yeah, but that red and white striped paper, I really like that. But this blue meshy looking paper, I just thought it was perfect. So I'm just going to fix that. And yeah, and I mentioned that I filmed this a few weeks back because you can tell on the lighting, I think anyway, lighting is much more yellowish here. I have since bought a new light. So anyway, I'm going to use that red, black and white camera as an element. It's not going to be up there, but I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use this washi tape. I really like that one. It's really nice, and I'm going to use that for adding some details on the page. So I've decided that this is good, and I'm going to stick it all down, which is a bit tricky because I was going to say I don't have fingernails. I do. I don't have the white bit at the top of the nail. I tend to tear those off. But I do have to say, I have been accused of being a nail biter, and I have to say I am not. I have grown up with horses and worked in stables for so many years. I would never, ever try to bite my nails. That is like, yeah, I would never. But I do like tear my nails off, which is not really nice and can go horribly wrong and start bleeding. Speaking of other fun things, I'm starting to consider how I want to embellish, and I have decided that this camera is really nice. So I'm going to pop that up and use that as an element. And I really like bringing out a bit more red to the right side, no, the left side, oh my gosh, to the left side of the page, and also bringing in a bit more black to really emphasize the contrast. And I'm going to use this adventure die cut to be part of my title. And this was one of those pre-cut out die cuts, and it had like those little tiny bits, and I don't like that, so I just cut that around. So I'm going to use that, and I really like the color match, and it gets a really cool look, I think. So my title is going to be Adventure at the Lake, and I'm just going to add some more black by using the tiny labels, or yeah, I think it's called, by Tim Holtz. At first I thought I was going to use the big one, but it just doesn't look right, so I'm going to skip that. But I do have to say, those thickers, I think Gina has them in the shop right now, they are seriously sticky. Like, they stick. And it's not very often I feel that with chipboard thickers or stickers, but they are so sticky. Yeah. So my camera is going to cut off because that's what it does apparently, but I'm going to start decorating a bit more. So what I'm going to do is, apart from adding some elements around my photo like this stamp, or faux stamp, I'm going to add one of the border strips or branding strips from the line, and here I'm looking up to date in the Collect app, the best app ever. um, so I'm going to do that at the top just to sort of uh, ground the page a bit so it doesn't float up, and then I'm going to do some splattering with the Hide Shine in teal, and that just, I really like the color, and also I like that it sort of gets that splashy look, because we're out on the lake. So I thought that would be fun. So I'm going to add my date on a little label, deciding to put it right there. Okay, that was good. So here you can see I start thinking about that, but I'm going to go with a blue one, and I think, yep, there we go. Nope. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. So that is about it, I think. I hate when my camera cuts off, but it has a temper, and I do too, so I can't really be mad at it for that. I mean, yeah, we all have bad qualities, you know. So I'm going to add a bit of floral, but it's not much. And in the end, I really like how this page turned out. I like the half and half look. I like the red of the page. I hardly ever use red on my scrapbook page, so when even though this is not like a true Christmas red, is a bit more for the yellow direction, I really like using red, and I like how it turned out. I like the look and feel of it. It has a bit more of a graphic, fun vibe, and yeah, I'm just really happy with it. So here it goes to where it's done. So I added a bit of a cluster up in the left corner, and added one of those geotags